So we are live, and hello everybody. Hello everyone who's watching our Healthy Woman Magazine podcast. This is Anna Cortesi, and today I have a guest with me. As you can see, a beautiful lady, Clementine Tsvetanov. And our hot topic of the day is muscular dystrophy. So, Clementine, I'm not going to say a lot about you because I'll let you introduce yourself because you are the expert. First of all, thank you for accepting my invitation to talk about your story. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. So, good morning, everyone. So, I am a neuro reflex specialist. I specialize in rehabilitation and in muscular dystrophy. I work in Cyprus. I work a lot with children with special need and neuromuscular disease. And I am also specialized in muscular dystrophy.
So, Clementine, what is muscular dystrophy and how did you come up with a solution for it? Because I know that it's all coming from your personal story.
Yes. So I am also a mother of a 9 years old boy born with muscular dystrophy. And what is muscular dystrophy? Muscular dystrophy is a genetic disease for most of the case that affect the muscles, give like a progressive weakness to the body and a muscle loss. So there is 30 different kinds of muscular dystrophy. And for example, Duchenne is one of the most aggressive form, I would say, of muscular dystrophy. And to give you an example, usually children around 10 years old will lose their ability to walk with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And they also can get like some complication with the heart and with the lungs.
So how did you find out? What age was your son when he was diagnosed?
So the story with my son is that he was 18 months old and he was still not walking. It was just like keep falling down, and it was like he was having no balance. And it was like he was walking with his hands because he had no strength in his legs. So I didn't worry too much at the beginning because it was my first child. And around 2 years old, he was still not walking. So we say, okay, we need to bring him to a specialist. So we bring him just to an orthopedic at the beginning, which sent us straight away to a neurologist. And then she talked to me about a muscle weakness. And again, I didn't worry too much. I just thought, okay, we'll just do some physiotherapy and it will be fine. And then after many exams, many hospital examination, I learned that my son has a muscular dystrophy and that he might never walk or lose his ability to walk, and that there were no cure. And I was completely lost. I didn't know what to do to help my son.
Yeah, that must have been devastating for you and the whole family. So, what did you learn then about the muscular dystrophy, and how did you handle it?
So, it took me some months, but I would say that the first lesson that I have learned is to take the risk to believe, no matter what. I remember working on my computer, and I came across this sentence. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And this for me was like a ha-ha moment, I have to work on myself. I have to reprogram my mind and change my focus. So I was working every day on myself. I was writing a list every morning of all the things that I'm grateful about. I would write every evening a success journal of all of the things that made me smile during the day. As soon as I was sitting in my car, I will do my breathing exercise, my affirmation. And I used to believe also things like Cyprus is a small island and there is no good doctor for my son. And I rephrase it by my son benefits from the best financial and medical support. And slowly, things started to change. And one day, one of my friend, Mark, who is a coach and a writer, called me and told me, Clementine, I'm writing a book about health, and I found gold information. There are solutions out there. Are you ready to try? And of course, it was this part of me that was resisting, no, there is no cure, don't be naive. But the other part, this part that I have been training for months, started to say, you make things possible. You can do it. And I accepted. And from that day, Mark offered me his financial support to visit the world's best experts and his ongoing coaching. And what I discovered about muscular dystrophy is mind-blowing.
Wow. So you, as a mother, you changed your mindset. You adapted a more positive attitude towards it. And this is what helped you proceed. What about the treatment? So what are the first steps you recommend somebody implements, like a parent? Because I guess it happens mostly to children, right? You see it from a young age.
It starts from a young age. So the first thing that I learned about muscular dystrophy, I learned about the real truth about muscular dystrophy. So that's, I would say, is one of the first steps for the parents is to change your mindset about muscular dystrophy. Because I still remember my first appointment with the specialist. Like, it was just throwing toys in the rooms and telling Gabriel to bring them back. And then he started to write in his report, clear goer signs. And I had no idea what was this. So this is like typical from muscular dystrophy, where children use their hands to go from squatting to the standing position. Then he was talking about, Duchenne. He was talking about EMG, which is the measure of the electrical resistance of the muscles. And I was completely lost because I didn't know what are the next step for my son. But one day I came across about the etymology, the essence of what is a muscular dystrophy. And the etymology simply means that it's an abnormal nutrition of the muscles. And for me, that was like, wow, so this is so much more clear because this is something I can treat. So now I could understand what could be the next step for it. So as I started to ask myself better questions, like, how can I bring better nutrition to the muscles of my son? Then better answers started to come back to me. And I realized, as I was expanding my vision, that they already found the cause of muscular dystrophy. In a veterinary field, the white muscle disease, which is a muscular dystrophy, which affects usually lamb or sheep, is a deficiency in selenium and vitamin E. So they already found a cure, which is supplementation. So I started after to find out a lot of evidence and information that muscular dystrophy is also a nutritional deficiency. It has been said that it's actually a bad nutrition. So I started to work on his diet, okay? And that the first step is to restore the gut, actually, because not only for the absorption of essential nutrients, but also because in our gut, we have what we call neurotransmitters, which is the brain messenger. And if you want a better motor function, you need to have good neurotransmitters because they are sending information to nerve cells, to other nerve cells. So I started to work on the microbiome, on the gut of my son, and finding what is the perfect diet for muscular dystrophy. So I started to learn about Dr. Terry Walls, which is a lady, a doctor, that recovered herself from multiple sclerosis with a diet. And the diet is to boost the ATP of the muscle, the energy and respiration, oxygenation in the muscles. So what she said is that we need animal-based protein. So my son is having a diet which is rich in animal-based protein. And then I make also research about the microbiome because he had also what we call a leaky gut. So how can I treat the candida in the gut, the fungi, and to repair his gut? So I started to remove the gluten, the sugar, and I also remove the dairy. And then I make also different tests, which is very important that people need to take. It's a Vega test. So the Vega test is done with a bioresonance machine. And a bioresonance machine is measuring basically the compatibility you have, you as a person, with a nutrient, a food. Because it's measuring on the molecular level, because we are energy, everything is energy. So then I found out that my son, for example, was intolerant to beans, to citrus, to sugar, so to dairy. So that was a great information, because then I could stop, in a way, the inflammation in the gut. And another test, which is very important if you want to heal the gut, is called the hair mineral analysis. So basically, they take a small hair, they cut a hair, and they send it in the laboratory. And this laboratory can measure the heavy metals contents in circulation in the body.
Okay. Sounds interesting. That sounds interesting because lots of metals, heavy metals in the body, we know to what they can lead. So that's from experience, you've learned so much things from study to study and from research to research. So nutrition, you're saying, is the most important part, right?
It's one part. I would say it's probably the beginning to start with. But then after, I started to use all the technology and techniques.
So what other techniques would you say that you used?
I use homeotoxicology. So homeotoxicology is medical science based on homeopathy. And this helps to clean the body from parasites, from heavy metals, from maybe side effects of the vaccine. And it's also helped to repair the organs. And then I use also supplements according to, so this, because I'm also coaching families, so according to the concerns, I will use different supplements. So for instance, coenzyme Q10 is very good, vitamin E, vitamin D3. And I also use Neuro Reflex Therapy, which is a therapy that I learned to find a solution for my son, because he had also ADHD, which is common actually with muscular dystrophy, because they are missing a dystrophin protein, which is also affecting the brain.
Have you met many moms that were facing the same issue, particularly in Cyprus or in other countries? Did you come across other people, parents, that learned from you?
Yes, so I do have a blog, so people are reaching to me, and I'm also working now with a different family. I'm working, for instance, with one family in Texas, with the boy who has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and he already achieved a lot of results. So yeah, that's very promising. And so I learned, I coach also parents for about Neuro Reflex Therapy, how they can rehabilitate their children with Neuro Reflex Therapy, and also with all of the different techniques that I learned on the way.
Okay, so Clementine, would you say, like, when it comes to muscular dystrophy, is this something parents should do, like the first steps when the child is first diagnosed, that you can prevent it from growing? we know it's a genetic disease, right?
Yeah, in most of the case.
Most of the cases. So is there something that people can do in order to prevent it from happening later, at a later stage?
Yeah, well, they can start to do what I recommend in the first step, like to work on the diet, and they can also start to have a look about the triggers, like all of the heavy metals, depending, of course, of the age of the child. I also have a case which I also talk about in my book, where parents find a way to prevent actually muscular dystrophy by giving supplements to the child. So
Prevent it before even happening, you mean?
Yes, because it was possibility that he could get muscular dystrophy because of his mother was carrying the gene. So it is possible by giving the right supplementation to prevent.
Is there a way a mom or future mom can can know if she carries the gene?
They usually know because it's run in the families, but sometimes for me, for example, I don't have cases in my family, so I didn't know that I have the gene. So sometimes it's also toxins that the mother is carrying and then can affect also the child.
Could it be also stress, like stress reasons of having this? Could it be like out of stress, lots of like excessive stress, people who have been through lots of stress through their life?
So I don't know exactly, but what I can say is that I have met few families, and every time, and I can talk also for myself, that when I was pregnant, I was having a lot of depression, and I talk with other family, and it was often the case also that the mother was also going through depression. So of course, doing therapy also for yourself is important.
So, what advice would you give to parents out there, or people who just found out that a family member or their child is diagnosed with this disease?
I would say, first of all, overcome the labels. Don't get stuck in the labels when they tell you it's genetic and there is no cure. Don't take my words for granted. Just have a look, also find more information, and start to implement the first step that I say. Work on the diet. Make sure you're giving, you can start to give organic foods, clean foods. And of course, you can also, I have a blog, so you can also find more information there if you like. Or you can also reach to me. I'll be happy to help.
What is the blog name? How can we find the blog?
ClementineIna.com. Muscular Dystrophy No More is the blog.
Okay, great. Maybe you can, once this live is finished, maybe you can type it in the comments so people can get in touch. People
Yeah, sure.
that are watching now, or that they will watch later this very informative live.
Thank you. Yes, I will.
Is there anything else that you would advise people? Something that you've been through and you can prevent from them getting stressed or thinking about it too much?
Well, as I say before, it's all about reprogramming your mind also. And so I will encourage you to open your mind for different possibilities and have a look about all of the different alternatives that there is. And yes, and for me also, Neuro Reflex Therapy has been a wonderful tool to help also my son. And I was so happy that I have this tool, because it's like I can help my child whenever, if he's sick or anything, I can help him. And I have this power in my hands to help my child. And this for me was such a great tool.
And not just your child, with all this experience and your specialty, after you learn so much and you've been trained to do what you do, you're helping so many other children in the world. So you should be proud of yourself, Clementine.
Thank you.
How can somebody get in touch with you?
They can contact me through my blog. There is my email address. I can also type my email address. They can just personally contact me. I don't mind.
Okay, great. So thank you so much again for this wonderful conversation. For sure, you enlightened me because I knew what the term was, like the dystrophy of the muscle, as the title predicts, but I never took the time to research, go deeper, especially nutrition-wise, because you can achieve a lot of things with nutrition, but sometimes supplementation is important, especially if you have leaky gut or other cases with the intense things like irritable bowel syndrome or other cases with the small intestine. So nutrients are not absorbed properly, and this is why it's important to know exactly what each case needs separately.
Yes, exactly. It's has to do very personalized. Yeah.
So thank you again, Clementine. It was lovely having you, and wish we can keep up with updates maybe in the future, because I know that you keep studying, you keep learning, and it would be lovely to have you at the podcast again.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was lovely also talking to you, and see you soon.
See you soon. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you. You
Bye,
too.
everybody.
Thank you.